Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Bitcoin portfolio update video. I did sell out of my BITU position that I shared last video. I sold out of that completely. It took me 2 days. I sold half of the first day, sold the second half today for a profit. I'm going to be going over that towards the end of the video. I'll show you guys a screenshot and all that. But I want to get the primary focus out of the way, which is just showing you guys where we're at right now with our core Bitcoin portfolio. So I haven't added anything or taken away anything, just like I say in every video. If you guys are new, my intentions is just to hold on to $80,000 worth of Bitcoin. I was able to invest 80,000 at 70,119.13. I forgot if this includes fees or no. This is where I bought it at, and then it takes away fees afterwards. So slightly above this, maybe like $100. I think it's like $150 over this. Then that's actually where my break even is when I'm back even on Bitcoin. But regardless, we got 1.139 Bitcoin. As you guys can see, I haven't done anything whatsoever since late March, and yeah, we're currently sitting at $67,600 on Bitcoin. I believe recently, like very, very recently, we hit 68,000 briefly, and then we fell back down. But it looks like we're on a really good trajectory towards the second half of October. So things are looking really, really good. It's similar to like September, when it was bearish for like basically the first half of it, and then very bullish for the second half of the month. So it looks like we may be repeating something like that once again. But yeah, guys, our portfolio is currently worth $77,000 as of this moment. So we're only down $2,800 at the moment. Now there was some I want to share some charts with you guys before, not charts, but just one chart. Just the Bitcoin chart in a moment before we actually jump into the BITU position. If you guys are curious on what prices I sold at, why I sold, and then of course just for some educational purposes, why I sold is it's a good idea to show that, so kind of you guys can see my train of thought and what I'm looking at. By the way, recently Tesla moves an entire $765 million of Bitcoin to an unknown wallet. This is very interesting because I believe, I could be absolutely wrong, but I think it's next week Tesla reports earnings. So this is very interesting, and we should hear, because this is Tesla's Bitcoin that he moved, so he's got to talk about it on the earnings call. There's got to be something about this that he's gonna say, because it's a big deal, and people are trying to figure out if he's trying to sell or if you just move, whatever reason he's moving it. Here's a picture they have on here of what the transactions look like. So yeah, it's very interesting to see, or I'm very excited. It's very interesting to see what he's gonna say. So I'm looking out for this. I'm very excited. I'm not gonna be trading Tesla, their stock, whatsoever. It's just something I'm very interested in seeing what the reasoning for this was. And then, of course, also real quick, monthly. I want to see what we're looking like for the month on this chart, because we were a little bit in the red. Now look at this, we're up 6.5% for October, so we're getting further away from the red. I have a good feeling that we can at least hit 10% up in October by the end of October. So that's something to look for. Looks like most likely, according to history, chances are we may pass 10%. So I'm very excited for that as well. When it comes to Bitcoin chart, right? Like, where are we at currently? Like, we do know, if you guys have been watching for a while, you know that we've been for quite some time in a lower low, lower high situation, where then right here, this moment was the last confirmed lower low, leading into the last lower high, because then after that, if you guys can get past through all this craziness I have on the chart here, we finally made a higher low. we made slightly a higher high. As you can see, we did surpass this last swing high, so we're up. And then we had a little bit of a ABC structure, a little bit of a correction, coming down right here to the very bottom of this area, but still trading within the larger retracement area from down here all the way up here. That's what the orange is. And then this red area is just an extension fib tool from here to here and to here. So it respected this quite well. We did see a second test of it, sort of respected still. This is just something to look at. These are just indicators, not textbooks. They don't tell you exactly what's going to happen, but it gives you a good idea what's going to happen. As you can see, we still respected the bottom quite well. And all this happened, these supports all happened within the overall major retracement levels. And then we started rallying higher. If you guys are on the Discord, you know that when we were around right here, there was like potential sell pressure, like oh, are we gonna see a correction coming back down or fill in like some imbalance here, or potentially retest this value that we have down here. Instead, I did message on there. I said, well, you know, this swing high, where the bodies of these candles are, is still fairly shallow, even though the wick meets this previous wick right here quite well. It's just things are a little bit too shallow. We have a lot of volume leading up. It will be very, I wouldn't say silly, but to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to see such strong volume and then see a perfect rejection right at the previous swing high. If we were a little bit more stagnant or seeing not as aggressive bullish candles, and yeah, it could have been a stronger corrective move, but I did say I want to see the price go up a little bit higher. It went up higher than I anticipated. I said at least, like, I think it was 66.6K or 66.7K at least. I want to see the price go up to that before we see a correction begin. And that's still very conservative because that means we won't reach the overall triangle resistance that we have here. So if you guys been here for a bit, you already know, but if you're new, we have this bigger triangle pattern, sort of the prices are sort of how do you say, reflecting that. It keeps bouncing from the resistance and the support. So it will still be very conservative, but at a minimum, we can see at least the bottom of this extension, this resistance area being met. Thankfully, like, things happen very quickly. Most of this happened when I was sleeping. I usually sleep in pretty much almost every day. So when I woke up, I noticed Bitcoin just kept climbing higher, and it just kept pushing higher. So I ended up selling yesterday a portion of BITU, and again, I'm gonna get into that in a moment. And then today I saw that this resistance, the white line up here, the descending, if that's the right word, the downward resistance up here for the bigger picture triangle, it's being respected. We did break above it a little bit, but we came back down and we're holding underneath it. So to me, it looks like, you know, and the RSI has been hanging out up here on overbought quite a bit. So I'm pretty happy with that. I just ended up selling the rest of it today. Again, I'm gonna share that with you guys in a moment. But what I'm currently looking for is for Bitcoin. I'm looking for, let me fix this. So we went up a little higher. I would like to see a reasonable correction. And I say reasonable because if you guys, for example, were to, I'm going to give you guys two examples here. If you were to take a retracement tool, I like to use these three numbers. Pretty strict with these, but as you can see, we didn't even hit the first support area. All right, then what comes after that? The second reasoning is if you take from the bottom here to the top here of this swing high, very shallow break into it. It's still, this one's very much valid. That's fine. It's good enough. But I like to see at least a more aggressive, more reasonable retracement than that. So at this point, what I ended up doing is I drew out on the last video, this retracement right here, so from down here to up here, at an ideal scenario, I would like to see the price of Bitcoin fall, and at a minimum hit, it can bounce off, that's completely fine, the 0.35, it can bounce off of this, but I would like to see at least a wick or at least somewhat of a price action break below the 0.35. That would be ideal. Something else that's completely valid for a further uptrend is quite simply the same thing, but from this swing low to the swing high on this structure right here. Most likely, excuse me. What I'm going to do, because things are very bullish right now, and I'm not falling into the FOMO. I'm not falling into a lot of this, but I am understanding that if you guys know, what the heck? Okay, if you guys know, my next leg up where I would like to see an actual reasonable correction will be eventually seeing the price come up to this area right here before we see a corrective move and then a push up higher into further into the 80s and then further into the 90s, possibly 100K. But you guys already know that my personal leg up estimate, and this is just my own opinion because nothing in this video is financial advice, and this is all just my opinion. I'm just sharing it with you guys and documenting it. My next leg up is from all-time highs, so where this orange line is, up to, it says 82, but really to me it's more like 85. I'm just trying to round it up because people and investors are gonna, there's something about whole numbers and the thousands that people really target. So at least at a minimum in this area, even in the discounted area down here, but I want to see Bitcoin continue to stretch up higher into this. But I do understand that we have been getting pushed up quite a bit, quite aggressively, without any reasonable corrections. So what that means is I would not be surprised if, of course, we come down into this support area that I drew out. It's completely realistic. I mean, we're sort of respecting this resistance up here quite well. So we can easily come down to here. Ideally, I'd like to see the price at a minimum come to this larger 0.35 support area down here. At a minimum, but I would like to see this 0.5 being hit. I would like to see prices come down to around here. We will see if that happens. If it does happen, it'll be super, super quick. Although, it's less likely. I mean, there's so much bullishness right now. We just have to wait and see. But I'm completely open towards this, and that's why, because of this resistance, because we've been going up quite a bit. We reached this orange colored resistance area that I have drawn out on here for a bit of time now. If you guys look back on the last few videos, I've had this area right here. We broke into it. I woke up yesterday. I'm like, oh, we're in it. So I'm like, you know what? I made a video. It was my last Mara video. I made a video. I'm like, hey, it's a good idea. Like, don't be greedy. Maybe it's a good idea because we did hit it briefly on this wick right here. So to me, it's like, well, right here. So it's like, you know what? We came down and we're trading. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sell. I'm not gonna be too greedy, but I'm only gonna sell half of it because it looks like there's still more momentum that can be in play. And quite simply, I didn't say this yesterday, but it's a much more stronger argument to say that, well, I want to see the body of a candle close, basically touching a resistance. So this white line up here, candle close, touching that resistance. Earlier today, I saw the price kind of dip down a little bit. It's holding. It continues to hold below it a little bit, the body of the candle. So then I just closed out the rest of the position. There's no reason for me to be so greedy here, especially since all the trades I cared about doing this year, they've all already been done for a while. I'm just enjoying the rest of the year, participating here. I don't really care about a lot of this right now when it comes to my own personal trading for the rest of this year. I'm just giving you guys my opinion on what's going on. But when it comes to BITU, because I know that's what you guys want to look at. So yeah, again, I want to see a reasonable correction begin. Although we can easily push up higher, it's all good. But yeah, so I'm not prepared. I ended up doing 2 sells and I didn't take note of them or anything for this video, knowing I was gonna do it. So bear with me, guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of math and then I'm gonna look at my brokerage app and then I'm gonna share a screenshot with you guys once it's ready. I'm gonna show you guys a transaction history, and then I'm gonna show you guys a picture of my last chart planning update video. I believe at the time I had 11,000 invested in BITU, but it shows what my average price was, and then you guys will see the history, and you guys can. I'm gonna do my own math, but I could be wrong. You guys can do your own math if you want to see if I'm right or not. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter. But if you guys are sticking around this long, I do appreciate it. So let's do a little bit of math real quick. So it looks like the amount of capital I had ready to invest here. Currently, it's all valued at $13,391.53, and I believe like a little bit of this, super minor, but a little bit of this is interest that was deposited into the account for having some cash. So it's not going to affect the calculations too much. So I'm not gonna worry about removing it. But let's see. So originally we invested 10,000, so I'm gonna take away 10,000 from it. Let's see. So then we had a previous trade just a few weeks ago. We closed it out at $1,400 something profit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna remove 1,400 because I ended up using some of that profit to reinvest into BitU. All right, so we had 1,400, but I'm gonna add 400 back because it was $1,400. I have 10,000 invested, so I wanted to invest just 1,000 at a time. So as you guys can see with the transactions, I invested another 1,000, so I'm at 11,000 invested. I deposited 600 because I thought, in case the price goes a little bit lower, I'll be okay with adding another 1,000 to it to have 12,000 invested. But I never did. As you guys can see with the history of the transactions, I never ended up adding the second 1,000 because the prices at that time just kept shooting up, and I didn't feel too comfortable adding to a position that's already climbing quite a bit. So that 1,000 basically is sitting on the sidelines. Yeah, because I had 400 left over after investing 1,000, so I'm gonna add. Yeah, I deposited 600 to have 1,000 in there, but I ended up leaving the position at 11,000 invested. The price went up, and then it looks like my actual profit for this BITU trade is somewhere between $1,200 and $2,400. My calculator says 2,391.53, but I know this is wrong. There's some other stuff I didn't really factor, like leftover cash or whatever. I'm just gonna round it down to 2,300. I think that's fair. So I'm gonna take off $91.50 from that. So yeah, $2,300 I believe is what I made in this trade. And what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna remove. I'm gonna most likely withdraw the $3,391.53. I'm gonna move that over to another account. I have a specific brokerage account that I just invest in money market fund. Just one money market fund I use. I use that brokerage account just to store capital. I don't want to leave it in my bank account. So I most likely what I'm end up doing. Most likely next week, withdraw it all, leave 10,000 in that account just for trading BITU. So 10,000 specifically for BITU, and then the 3,000 whatever, store that in a separate account, and then just leave it there. I can collect interest or do whatever it wants. I don't need that cash. So cash that I don't need whatsoever, that I don't really care about, I just store it in there, and then it's good. It's just it's out of sight, out of mind. I don't really care about it. And at least it's collecting some kind of yield, right? So yeah, guys. I'm not bearish on Bitcoin right now. I'm just short term being cautious. If we come down into this area, I'll begin to buy BITU once again. At a minimum, at the 0.35 line, I'll begin to buy BITU again very slowly, maybe like $1,000 a day. Unless I start seeing signs of a potential reversal, or maybe when we come down into this between the 0.5 and the 0.35 here, if we do, maybe the RSI is going to aggressively drop. Who knows? But we are definitely overbought, and you know what? I'm okay with stepping out from BITU short term for that. So yeah, very very cool. We're up here finally. We're very close to 70K once again. So that's very 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 good news. Hopefully a lot of you took advantage of those lower prices. If not, we still have plenty of opportunity. Plenty. We're still at 67,000. Like, there's no reason to, like, you know, what's the word? Be sad about it. I guess I'm just gonna say that. There's still plenty of opportunity coming up. Core Bitcoin position though, we're down $2,800. Things are looking good though. Things are looking good. I really like this. We're close back to our even 80K. And I'm very, very fortunate. I understand, very fortunate to have over 1 Bitcoin, although at current prices. Although one thing that keeps me very excited is that once Bitcoin is in the high 80,000s, this portfolio should be at 6 digits before Bitcoin hits 6 digits. So that's something that gets me personally very excited. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys are, as positive with Bitcoin as I am. I don't think I showed you guys, but my after 100K, I believe if we can break 100K on Bitcoin by the end of this year, which I believe we can, I believe my minimum, at least $115,000, I believe we can easily, very, very easily, because at that point, there's going to be so much FOMO, so much like news media attention for Bitcoin. So I feel like prices are going to easily pump up to like easily over 110K once it passes 100K. Maybe not right away, some fluctuations, but you guys know what I mean, like fairly quickly. Yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Hopefully I said everything I wanted to say. I'll catch you guys on the next one.